think one of the things that happens when we speak a second language is we're so worried about, like the words we're using or how we're pronouncing them or the grammar that we forget perhaps what is the most fundamental aspect of every time we talk. What's the actual situation we're in that will determine how we do everything else? Because certain situations are going to call for certain grammar structures. Certain situations are going to call for certain vocabulary, but certain situations are also going to call for speaking in a certain way. And so in today's video, I just want to highlight the importance of not speaking in a way that is too general. That honestly, that's often how we learn the language. No, we need to instead think about how can we apply context through pronunciation to our speech. Good morning, guys. Good evening. Good afternoon. Welcome to your daily American English pronunciation show. Wake up, American. We are here Monday through Friday to talk about basically how can we help you achieve a more natural sound in American English pronunciation. To guide you in this process, there is me. Hello, my name is Jeff. It rhymes with breath. That's one of the four keys to a natural sound in American English pronunciation, including placement, pitch, breath, trying to weaken your consonant sounds in order to strengthen your vowel sounds. We got a couple people here with us as well. We got Mirko. Okay. And then we also have Milad with us as well. Thank you both for joining me. And if you're also joining us, whether live right now or in the replay, make sure to say hello because I love saying hi to you guys. So again, we are going to be talking about how to not sound general. How do we avoid it? Because this may be a situation that you're encountering. And let's kind of find out a little bit about this. Take a look at this phrase here. Just kind of say this sentence to yourself if you're able to see it on your screen. Okay. I forget if I said hey to Matt Leva, but thanks for stopping by. Great to see you. How would you say this? How would you say these sentences? That's in some ways that's actually the wrong question to ask. A better question to ask. How would you say this sentence if you were sad? Full of regret. How would you say the sentence if you were sad or full of regret? How would you say this sentence if you were really excited or happy? How would you say this sentence if you were how do we I want to like nuance the emotion, not just say sad. Like how would you say the sentence if you were maybe a touch angry, maybe add a little anger mixed in with some slight sadness and things like that? Okay. Matt Levitt says it will be choppy. If you could explain how it would be choppy, maybe that would depend on your thought groups there. Where would you break things up? So let's just imagine different contexts and try saying the sentence in an appropriate way for that context. Okay, and there's lots of different ways to do this, so I hope you're not approaching this as a, one size fits all kind of answer. Let's imagine, let's probably do the more straightforward emotion. So what we want to avoid is to just say something like, it's so good, I wish I'd heard about it sooner. Something like that, because that's very neutral. And the reality is that most times when we talk, we don't actually say things in a way that is neutral, or we don't want to. Most situations they're leaning emotionally in some direction. And I think one of the things we need to remember about language is people don't necessarily remember the words that we say, but they do remember how we make them feel during a reaction or interaction, excuse me. Which means that, in a lot of ways, I know when you're a language learner, you're focusing so much on the actual language of what you're doing, but you're communicating much more, not with the words you're using, but how you're saying them, in all honesty. So we want to try to avoid that neutral way of speaking it, because even a neutral way of speaking it in some ways doesn't really exist. So if we wanted to make this sound excited or happy. Why would we make this sound excited or happy? Let's maybe let's put a story behind this. So um, let's imagine a restaurant is about to close. So there's a restaurant in my town, and they sell this really, really great sandwich. It's a really good sandwich. Maybe it's like a pulled pork or like a barbecue type sandwich. And I've never been there. And my friend takes me for the first time. But then at the restaurant, we order the food, and the food's really good. But there's a problem. The restaurant's going to close next week. So that's some background context. And then you talk to me, and we start talking about this restaurant. And I'm happy I went there, but I'm also maybe a little bit upset because the place is going to close. And it's like, like this sandwich, it's so good. I wish I heard about it sooner. It's so good. I wish I heard about it sooner. It's a shame it's closing. You know what I mean? So maybe something like that. But maybe let's change the context a little bit. Okay. And as I do these, I hope you're also kind of practicing saying them, before I give my model. What's your model? What's your baseline? Try saying the sentence before I say the sentence. I'll try to leave you a space for this one. So let's imagine now my friend takes me to this restaurant. It's a barbecue restaurant. I get the pulled pork sandwich. It's a very tasty sandwich. And I find out that they're not closing. They've been there for years, and I've just never gone. So maybe I don't have that. I'm not as sad. I'm happy, because I can go in the future. I'm just disappointed that in the past, I would have gone there way sooner if I'd heard about it, right? Okay. Um, so let's say, like, again, I like the place. I just found it. It's been here for a long time. I can't wait to go back. So how would that change how you say this sentence? So maybe now I'm not going to sound as sad on the second part. So maybe now I might say something like, "It's so good. I wish I heard about it sooner. It's so good. I wish I'd heard about it sooner. It's been there this whole time. Wish I heard about it sooner." Okay, do you hear how the sound different was just a little bit there? Okay. Let's now think about this sentence. Let's change the context a little bit. And hopefully, Mad Lib, as I'm doing these examples, they'll give you some different models that you can use if you feel like you're getting choppy. Um, what I would also say, if you could be more specific on what parts of the sentence are making it choppy for you. You can also put this in the Telegram group, Mad Lib, if you want to try saying this so you can kind of demonstrate to me. Let's do another example using the same sentence. So maybe this context, I want to express some anger. And let's see what's a situation that we could use for that. So let's say that someone gave me something. What could they have given me? Let's say maybe someone gave me tickets to a show that's in town. They're not in town all the time. They've been to town before and I didn't hear about it. And maybe it's let's make it a little bit more personal. So let's say maybe it's my wife finally takes it to this place, knowing that I would like it. And she's known that it's been in town before, but she never mentioned it to me. So I never heard about it. So I'm a little mad because she's known about this thing and I haven't known about this thing. And then she finally brings it to me, or gets me tickets to it. And so I'm happy about that, but I'm also a little bit angry because she knows I would have liked this, but she never demonstrated it to me. Okay, so that's some background to the situation. Okay. So it's a little complicated, right? Because I like the thing, I'm happy about it, but I'm also slightly mad because I'm being a little petty, a little passive aggressive at the end because I wanted her to have told me about it way before. So maybe something like this. It's so good. I wish I heard about it sooner. It's so good. I wish I had heard about it sooner. Or maybe I could be even a little bit more sarcastic. Like, I wish I'd heard about it sooner. And then, like, I might even give her a little bit of like side eye or something like that. I might do a little. Ooh, sorry for the lag spike. So as I'm saying that, and I want to kind of express a little bit of that tension, I might like, let's say it's my wife and I were talking to a friend about it. Okay, so like to my friend, I might say, "Ah, it's so good." Then as I look over to my wife, I'm gonna be like, "I wish someone had told me about it sooner. I wish I'd heard about it sooner." Something like that. Okay, if I'm being petty and passive aggressive and things like that. Okay, but how you're saying it, there's so many different options. The big takeaway I hope is that the differing contexts changed so much about how I pronounce the sentence. Same words, even same thought groups and stuff like that, but because the context is different, the way I say this is really different. So the thing I challenge you to do in your own speech in American English is to be thinking about, what is the context of the situation I'm in? What's the situation I'm in? What's happening? What's the relationship dynamic? How do I feel about these things? And then the last step, how do I use my voice to convey all of that information? Okay, because if you say the same thing the same way every single time, no matter the context, that's a very large problem. I know some questions came in, and I want to make sure we get some time to talk about them. Our first one here, again, from Mirko, pronunciation of thought and taught. There you go, thought, taught. Okay, some people may not use the ah sound. Some people may use an ah sounds like thought, taught. I personally use an ah, thought, taught. Okay, I hope that helps. And man, I love it. So it seems to be choppy when I try to pronounce it correctly. Okay. Um, I know we've been working a lot on just kind of general clarity, contrast. Contrast. Like, let's just do contrast with the vowels and pitch. Like, ew, It's like, oh, So we're kind of making it sound happy, but ew, it's so good. I wish I'd heard about it sooner. Ow, ooer. Ow, ooer. I wish I'd heard about it sooner. Okay, so like make sure there's enough pitch contrast. Okay. Another tip too, right before your stressed word, just going extra, take an extra step down. Okay, that's going to help with clarity a lot. It's like about it sooner, about it sooner. All those little tips we talk about with pitch are going to be really key. All those things about weakening your consonant sounds are going to be key. Okay. With that, guys, one of the things I mentioned again is that we have a pronunciation group on Telegram. So if you're trying to practice saying words, phrases, anything in American English, adding some context to things, what happens in the pronunciation group is you can do that. It's your playground. You send in words and things. You try experimenting with pitch. You try practicing your placement. You try saying sentences you use every day, or you listen to challenges I sent and the model words I sent, and you get feedback. We tell you, hey, does that sound natural? Does that not sound natural? And we let you know within 24 hours. Okay, so if you're trying to get feedback and you're trying to experiment with your English to actually start doing these things, because most likely, you hear these streams, but you don't actually put it into practice. If you want to start putting things into practice, the Telegram group is your way to do that. What you can do is you can go to fluentamerican.com/Telegram, and we'll help you out every single day. We certainly hope to see you there. We have some members in the group right now hanging out with us. Mother says, so am I correct in understanding that the same word can be pronounced a little bit differently depending on the pitch and the context? Yeah. The way I just said, yeah. Right? Yeah. Yeah. All of those mean different things. All of those mean different things. Yeah. 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 All of those mean different things, right? It'd be a problem if they didn't. Hello, also to Ronnie. All right, guys, I do have to run, but hey, thanks for spending some of your day with us. We greatly appreciate it. Look, there's a million pronunciation resources out there. I know that. So the fact that you spent some time with us is greatly, greatly appreciated. Okay, and we hope to see you tomorrow. Once more, my name is Jeff. It rhymes with breath. It's one of the four keys of natural sound in American English, including placement, pitch, breath. Trying to weaken your consonant sounds, strengthen your vowels. We'll be back tomorrow morning, right around 8 a.m. New York, to make sure that you get in your 5-10 minutes of practice. I'll see you all later. Have a good day, have a good night, and a good afternoon.